Oh, yes, you nearly saw a glimpse of me there. Hello there, everybody. What on earth are we doing going live on a Wednesday? Well, it's simple. We weren't able to do a Sunday show. We were still a little bit under the weather from COVID, and we'd been decorating, and things had gone rather well, actually, with that. It all gone rather well. We've now installed upstairs, and we've got wardrobes in, and we've got wallpaper up, and what's happened in the course of a week, it's been quite phenomenal to have that happen and have the room come together. But it also means as well that we should hopefully be having the studio up and running relatively soon. More on that as we get closer to it, of course. When you see backgrounds changing and everything looking a little bit more convenient, then that's what you'll see. What I will say, however, if you know of anybody that is heading to Wondercon, or indeed if you know of any artist that's going to be exhibiting, if you wouldn't mind letting them know that in about 2 minutes, 19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds, we're going to be talking about Wondercon. We're going to be talking about what you can expect to see, what you can expect to enjoy, the guests, the parking, the floor opening, the things that have been announced officially, and indeed one or two unofficial announcements regarding Wondercon. So now is the time to kind of spread the word and get yourself excited and get yourself ready. We are less than, what, 2 weeks away now? Let's have a quick look at the diary. No, we're just over 2 weeks to go. So yes, it's not this weekend, not the weekend after, but the weekend after that, WonderCon 2022. So all in all, we're definitely at a pace to getting this whole thing up and running. Admittedly, there's still a lot to do in terms of getting the whole thing in place. Andrew Dickinson apparently is stuck in a bus in saying, yeah, open hours have been released for WonderCon. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, the actual days, the times that the floor is going to be open. We have that released on the official date, but we want to try and talk about some other stuff as well, and just kind of cover any upcoming information and news that we may have gleaned from the internet. So yeah, we're going to get into all sorts. I mean, it's just been fascinating to see how things are just kind of coming together and how people are excited about this show, which is really encouraging. But one or two people still showing a little bit of concern, understandably. But we've got ourselves a whole bunch of bits and pieces kicking in, and really looking forward to talking about it. Hopefully, we're going to be getting some live announcements and a bit of a live coverage on site, because I know that we've got Dan Berry who's going to be attending, including one or two others as well on our on the Convention Collective. But we'll get into that, and we'll talk about WonderCon 2022 after this. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome along to Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name's Leonard Sultana. No cup of tea for me because, well, I can't really drink too much caffeine because I've got a very, very early morning. I've got to get some sleep directly after this show. So I'm on just cordial at the moment. just to keep the whistle wetted. But yes, welcome along to Talkin Con. Why on earth are we doing a show on a Wednesday? Well, because we weren't able to do a Sunday show. I could kind of show you around. I'm very tempted to kind of just pick up the camera. In fact, I think I will. I wasn't going to do this, but I will. I'm going to pick up the camera. We're moved in. We've got myself my my books and all my comics and some records down there, but we're all wallpapered. We've got my cabinets at the back. We've got my clothes. We've got Caroline's desk. It's all set up. Bit of a mess over there. But we're all up and running. We've got our bedroom. Considering the way that it was. Oh, God, get in there. Excuse me, 1 second. Typical, I get the camera out of the holder. There you go. Yeah, considering where we were when we were upstairs talking to Tess Fowler. If you didn't see that show, by the way, you missed a cracking conversation. That was so much fun, especially with Mark Seb joining us at the back end. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, considering the state that this room was in, and the fact that I just tested positive for COVID and I was on the tail end of a very nasty cold. Basically, I took 3 days off from work, and I was just bouncing off the walls. I was just wanting to do something. So I ended up decorating. And then a day later, we ended up constructing cabinets. And then a day later, we ended up constructing more cabinets and more bookshelves. And it all came together within a week. And then we had our bed delivered within like the same week. So within 7 days, the whole room's just changed. But that's where we are. Okay, you didn't tune in to listen to me about how how I've been decorating. We've got people who are very understandably excited about Wondercon. We've got our neighbors. Hola from San Diego. It's a pleasure to have that message come up and roll around every single time. Hello there, Aaron. Welcome along. We've got Toby Tolentino. Greetings, Leonard. Indeed, greetings all. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Toby. And yes, I think Dan Berry pretty much sums it up for everybody. Wondercon. Yeah, it's there on the screen. It's April the 1st to April the 3rd. It's not an April Fool's gag. It's actually going to happen. We've got ourselves Wondercon 2022 up and running. It's the first in-person convention. Sorry, what were you saying? I drowned you out when you talked about decorating. I know. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's the first in-person convention that San Diego Comic-Con have organized for Wondercon, and it's since 2019. Not the first in-person con that obviously CCI have organized. They put together Comic-Con Special Edition in San Diego, and that went swimmingly. Hopefully that and this show will give us a bit of a sense that we're back up to some kind of speed, and yes, everything is in full flight for July. Speaking of which, my flights are booked. I'm ready to go. All I need to do is sort out my accommodation and a bit of spending money, and I think I'm ready, and we are ready for heading out to San Diego. So looking forward to seeing all of my West Coast friends in July. Looking forward to that. But let's talk about Wondercon then. A whole bunch of stuff and nonsense has been announced, either officially or unofficially, about this show. So let's cover the kind of like the big ones first. Let's talk about the guests that have been announced for the show, and let's get into certainly the people that you can see on the special guest panels, and also on the floor as well. We'll start with Babs Tarr, legendary artist, and indeed she did a cracking Wondercon cover for their program guide about 4 or 5 years ago for Wondercon. It was Wonder Woman, and she just did a great job. She's just an amazing artist, so everyone, of course, very much looking forward to seeing her. Let's see what else we've got. We have ourselves David A. Robertson, of course. Yeah, I mean, all of these. I mean, to be fair, they're just absolutely top flight across the board when it comes to the creatives that have been invited. Author of many books, which you may have read. considering that he's also got himself a number of awards for them as well. But certainly one of Canada's finest exports. David A. Robertson is going to be attending WonderCon this year. We have ourselves David F. Walker, who is just a legend when it comes to comic books, filmmaking, journalism. He's known for his education work as well. The Eisner Award, Ringo Award-winning series Bitter Root, his work with Naomi, and I believe he's also going to be doing a Black Panther book later on this year. I know that he's got some more DC stuff coming up, and he's also got some Young Justice work coming up in 2022 as well. Now, the man is very much a pioneer of his particular field. This is a name which I'm not overly familiar with. If anyone is familiar with Elliot S. Maggin, I know that he's a more legacy creative, doing work on Superman back in the day. Let's just see if I can find a little bit more information about this gentleman. But he's a brand new announcement. Only got announced at, I believe, the beginning of the week. See if we can find out more about him. Here we go. Writer of Superman in the 70s and 80s, wrote stories of every major DC character and something for every major publisher of the period. Written 400 to 500 comic stories and half a dozen novels, including the bestsellers Last Son of Krypton and Miracle Monday. So there you go. It's someone who, I mean, more than likely, if you put his artwork or his writing in front of me, I might recognize some of his stuff. But the name doesn't exactly ring a bell, but I'm certain there are absolute fans of the legacy work of Elliot S. Huggins. Who else we got? James Rollins, another new announcement they got rolled out late on last week. Number one New York Times bestselling author of the Sigma Force series. Also a whole bunch of books, including the novelization of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Hey, someone had to write it. So yeah, it's great to see. It's not just the comics; it's also the literary end of the guest list as well, because it's always been a strong aspect of the special guests for not just the comics. It's also the writing end as well. Kevin Eastman. Well, I mean, he's a local lad. It'd be good to just get him on the trolley down into town. And yes, of course, the legendary creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and setting up shop at IDW as well. So yeah, the legend in the field, Kevin Eastman. Kevin Smith is going to be on hand. I'm certain he's looking forward to getting behind a microphone and behind a lectern at any kind of show for CCI, considering that he did a kind of an audience with Kevin Smith panel for the special edition, and it ended up being kind of for the online Comic-Con online, and he recognized and said that he felt that he was missing an audience. So this is going to be a chance for him to be back in front of an audience. Michael A. Stackpole, someone else again that I'm not overly familiar with, but this was a new announcement at the beginning of the week. Award-winning writer, game designer, computer game designer, graphic novelist, screenwriter, and podcaster. Best known for his New York Times bestselling novels Rogue Squadron, and I, Jedi. So yeah, the man knows his Star Wars. Also, just to go back to Kevin Smith, of course, he has got a couple of film projects which he's got to pimp. So no doubt you'll get a couple of special panels from him as well on that. Michael Cho, just a legendary artist, of course. Never one to shy away from a bit of controversy, but he's always delivered some groundbreaking and eye-catching visuals. Michael Cho is one of the special guests. And this is one of only a couple, or just the two, women that's been announced. Shannon HALE, another writer. So it's great to have, like I say, have the literary element representing. Yeah, Shannon is just one of the names when it comes to genre fiction. Over 40 books in the New York Times best-selling list. Everything from Newbery Honor winner Princess Academy. We've also got ourselves Osterland. We've got Rapunzel's Revenge, Princess in Black, and for DC creating Princess of the Amazons with Victoria Ying, which is just an incredible book if you get the chance to check that out. So, yeah, it's a shame that more women haven't been invited. But remember, we're only talking, what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guests. So it would have been nice just to add a couple more of the women to the field. Trung Le Nugent, cracking artist, of course. If you get the chance to swing past his table, no doubt there'll be sketches galore. And also a writer as well. If you check out the stuff that he's done for DC Comics, Oni Press, Boom Studios as well, nominated for a 2021 Eisner this year. So yeah, absolutely a cracking artist. Who else we got? Yes, no, I tell a lie. We do have one more lass that's been announced. Hailing from just down the road from where I'm based here in Yorkshire, certainly under an original name, but she is now known, of course, under her professional pseudonym of Tula Lote. Eye-catching artist. She's somebody who I would have thought has had more of a name in the industry, but I think she is known more for creating Thought Bubble. And no doubt that's what CCI's connection has been with her, being a very strong cross supporter of the Thought Bubble here in the UK. Tula did actually step down as the director of Thought Bubble only about a month or so ago. So she's handed off the entire organization to a cracking team to keep that show up and running. So she's now concentrating on her artwork. And if you spot that she has been putting more and more variant covers out there into the wild, cracking artist, that's Tula Lote. And then last but not least, we got ourselves Skottie Young. Yeah, it's good to have Skottie actually heading out to the West Coast. Don't know if he's going to be taking the kids, but I think they're old enough to travel now, and I think he'll want to show them around. So Skottie has been invited as a special guest, and yeah, he's always been an incredibly popular draw at San Diego Comic Con and Wondercon as well. So yeah, it's just going to be good to have Skottie Young representing at the show. So there you go, our special guests for WonderCon. Any of those that are jumping out, any of those that you're really excited to see, and who you think is missing from the lineup? Who would you like to have seen invited to WonderCon this year? Considering that the panels have yet to be announced, I mean, we can only glean from online and from chatter and from people who are kind of spreading the word already about panels. This is very much shaping up to be about independent creators, small creators, and independent artists. So that's really exciting to see. That this kind of like the moment of pause that we've all had over the last couple of years that COVID introduced us to is allowing the shows on return to kind of reflect more the creatives and more the artists and those that actually tell the stories. So it's that's good to see. Speaking of which, if you are heading down onto the floor, let's crack on and check on this. Like Andrew Dickinson said, this was announced on the website I think today. So we've got ourselves two sets of times. Number one, the registration and badge solutions desk opening up on the Thursday from 12 midday to 7 p.m. and then opening on Friday at 9 till 7, Saturday 8:30 till 7, and Sunday 8:30 till 5. But then the actual exhibit hall at the Anaheim Convention Centre opening up at 11:30 on Friday. A little bit later than I thought it would have done. There we go. Staying open till 7. Saturday 10 o'clock through till 7, Sunday 10 o'clock through till 5. I would have liked to have seen slightly more extended hours, if anything, just so that the creatives can get as much attention and as much money as possible into the till, so they can maintain a livelihood since that last couple of years that have been missing out. But that's what they're doing, and we'll see how people react at 10:30 when they get the chance to get themselves on the floor at WonderCon 2020. But you've got to park up first, so we might as well cover this as well. The parking guide has been announced for the show. And yeah, it's first come, first served in the convention centre. Car Park 1 opening at 5 o'clock in the morning, Car Park 4 opening up at 6, and Car Park 7 opening up at 5. Yeah, the parking at the show has always been relatively strong. It's got a nice dedicated parking underground parking bay, but at the end of the day, this is going to be popular, and people are wanting to get in there as soon as you possibly can. So there you go. That's been announced today. At least we have ourselves some parking information that's finally rolling out. It is all about the admin at this point. It's now a case of how the show is going to come together, what's going to be released at the show, what kind of show it's going to be. Is it going to be more of a exhibition, or is it going to actually have some news coming out of it from the likes of IDW, Dark Horse, Aftershock? Is it going to be more of a proactive show? But then again, there's that air of caution that I can imagine the organizers are going to be looking at. Just kind of, let's just ease ourselves back into it. Let's just not go all hell for leather. Let's actually kind of dip our toe, as it were, for WonderCon this year. But that's the information as such. But there's plenty of bits and pieces when it comes to unofficial news. And speaking of unofficial, it's been great to have the unofficial blog back up and running. Kerry has marshaled the team and got themselves some great coverage of the show this year. But one thing that they've been definitely emphasizing, and it's been great to see, and this is more of Andy's efforts, Andy Wagner. Yeah, the open artist commissions. So they've been all really been a good job of putting it all together. And yeah, if you head to, well, might as well see if I can just get that URL and stick it up on the screen, because I want to kind of spread the word and let everyone see this. Do get the chance, if you get to go and check out their coverage. But this page in particular, like I say, which has been curated by Andy Wagner. And yeah, it's just great to get the chance to get some commission work from artists, especially local ones as well, and those that haven't had the chance to get people's kind of money through the till. stccblog.com/2022/03 list of open artist commissions for WonderCon 2022. Do go check that out. Let's have a quick look at some of the names that have already kind of announced themselves that they're going to be spotted and found on the floor. Tom Hodges has got himself some commissions, and who else have we got? Bobby Breed, Ian Gist, Anthony Helmer, Chrissy Shin, Nick Kremek from Dreamforger Studios, Jessler Chrysler, the legend that is Patrick Ballesteros, open as of February 28th, so 5 slots still available, and yeah, we're talking commissions that will be ready for collection, of course. Henry Liao, and yeah, that's where we are so far. If you do know of any artists that are attending San Diego Comic-Con and they're going to be on the floor, now's the time to spread the word, because obviously any way that people can kind of get that that piece of art up on the wall and really kind of spread the word. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Good thing about Patrick is he doesn't do a duff print. The bad thing is it does get particularly crowded, and I fully expect that these slots will have filled up very shortly indeed. They opened as of February 28th, so they've been a little bit of time to them, but now it's a case of let's get these slots filled up. So now there'll be a bunch of people that are very excited about that happening. Okay, let's have a quick gander at social media, because I want to just make sure that everyone's getting excited, and it is this fair old chatter, not horrifically mental when it comes to how much chatter is about WonderCon just yet. Everyone's just nicely reserved and almost not wanting to rock the boat. I'm really curious about that, the mass of the actual setup, because it's just going to be very, very interesting to see the amount of people diving into the convention center. So there we go. Let's have a look at some chatter to see what's going on here. Okay. I mean, I do know that we have Clyde Nee, who's the person that is the programmer and runs Artist Alley at San Diego Comic Con. She's got a panel on the Friday all about UFOs, which is going to be fantastic. Let's have a look at this. We've got Brendan Smith here online asking, do you know when you'll announce the panels and which shows movie cast will ascend? My best hope is for the cast of Motherland, Fort Salem, Yellow Jackets, Fear the Walking Dead, Cobra Kai, Lock and Key, and maybe Cruel Summer to make appearances as possible. It's more than likely. Heaven knows there's enough shows out there that want to kind of get people's groundswell, because we've seen far too many casualties of shows that haven't stuck the landing, or there hasn't been an audience that has come along and really kind of bolstered it. We've seen a bunch of casualties when it comes to the actual show. So it's a case of now, yeah, let's get some promotion going out there. So let's have a look at this. Toby is saying, be interesting to see as well. California just lifted mask wearing for indoors recently, so who knows what WC does. Yeah, here in the UK, we've just, I think we're relaxing mask mandates. Scotland is not releasing mask mandates for public transport for another week because they've seen a spike of their numbers. But we'll see how everywhere else does once the mandate kind of rolls out properly. At the end of the day, they wanted to have herd immunity, and that's what they're going to achieve with this. So, yeah, sooner or later, we're all going to be looking at COVID as a common cold, as it were, all protected and boosted. But we're still in that very precarious situation at the moment. So let's have a quick glance. Like I say, we'll probably definitely see some Kevin Smith panel about his upcoming films. I think he's got, is it Mallrats 2, I believe, that he's currently looking at, or he's just finished filming. Let's have a look at this. Oh, okay. X reads, so excited to have your art as a prize at WonderCon. So they've got themselves Luciano Vecchio, who's doing a couple of commissions. And there's going to be an X-Men fandom panel, and you can possibly get your hands on this particular print. Let's see if we can just bring it up on screen so at least you can see it for yourself. So okay, we'll go for that. We'll go for that, and we'll go for that. There we go. This is a cracking Mr. Sinister digital commission. And if you attend the X-Men fandom panel, it is going to be hosted by the likes of House of X and X Reads podcast. Yeah, they're known quantities when it comes to the realm of podcasting. So it's going to be a fun panel, that. And like you say, you get the chance to get a print of this excellent Dr. Sinister, which is going to be available right there. Okay. This might not be a long one, guys, if anything, because I am actually struggling to stay awake. I am currently doing 2 o'clock starts at my work, so a little bit tired. But bear with me. I will do my best to cover as much as I possibly can. Let's have a look at this. Just checking for any other updates, especially when it comes to people getting excited and getting the chatter out for Wondercon. Can't find too much in the way of panels. I mean, we've got people that are kind of announcing that they're going to be doing them, but just not so much when it's going to happen. A number of exclusives doing the rounds. We've got Art of Priscilla Wilson there, Anime, going to be at 99 or SP45 in the small press area. So you can be able to pick up that print from there. Okay. Bob's Burgers, of course, going to be represented. Michael P is saying hello. Good afternoon. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Michael. What are you excited to see about at WonderCon? Is there anything that has tickled your fancy, perhaps? Yeah, we've got ourselves some Patrick Ballesteros artwork as well, which is making the words some happy stickers. Good to have them around. Nice little some cracking artwork as always from Patrick. So there, but Michael P saying nothing so far. Nothing's really jumping out at him. Like I say, we haven't got the panels released as yet, but as soon as that gets sorted, there's going to be no doubt a whole raft of excitement, especially when it comes to. I suspect you're going to be seeing it's the TV stuff that's going to get a lot of excitement. And the streaming services are wanting to map out their space, and you're spotting it at most of the conventions now that it's the streaming services are trying to get an established audience so that they don't have to do any major promotion to get another 30 odd people to sign up for a film such as the Adam Project, for example. It's just a case of let's just build on the previous success of the other Ryan Reynolds films, and that's where you kind of are at the moment with that. Let's have a look at this. Wonder Post. Yeah, after the parties. So we've got ourselves. This is the unofficial blog. We think there's a very good chance we'll get the WonderCon programming schedule on Friday. So that's this Friday. Then comedy writer, podcaster extraordinaire Tim Drake shared this on his panel. That we've got the likes of this great artwork doing the rounds, and really kind of keeping readers' attention. Some great people. Some great people are getting excited about the show. It's now just a case of how everyone else is going to feel. So look at this. Please no Lebre and food trucks, says Michael P. Well, yes, the food trucks outside the convention centre are always fine fettle and well worth checking out, of course. But I actually quite like some of the food inside the convention centre. But this was, 4 years was back last? I think it was for Disney D23. So it's just a case of now, let's see what's going on, and let's see how many people can get excited about this show. Michael P, my English friends is what he's excited to see. Oh, that's so charming of you. I won't be going, but I know Andy Dickinson's heading over. Graham Small, I believe, is heading over in that direction as well. So look at this. This is WonderCon Alley B30 egg drop ramen. This year will be my first year in Artist Alley at WonderCon. I'm beyond excited. You've got Rachel Beck who's sharing the word as well. She's a glitch logs artist, and she's going to be at SP02. So, yeah, I think as long as people kind of recognize the makeup of the booths and whatever, and how it's all going to be organized, I think people can organize a nice crowd inside to go and see some cracking artists. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll wait on Friday. We'll wait to see what panels get announced and released. But one more time, let's just remind ourselves of the times that you can get yourself on the floor for Wondercon, because it's, like I say, only about 2.5 weeks away. So let's remind ourselves, what the kind of time it would take for you to get on the floor, and also get yourself any answers to any questions that you may need. Registration Bag Solutions desk Thursday from 12 till 7, all ready for the first door to open at 11:30 a.m. on the Friday through till 7, Saturday 10 o'clock through till 7, and Sunday 10 a.m. through till 5. It's going to be one of those shows, I suspect, where people are going to get very tired and emotional, and by the end of it, they're just not going to want the doors to close. So yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people attending this show. So yeah, looking forward to all the words coming out of it. Thankfully, like I say, Dan Berry is going to be heading over, as well as a couple of other contributors under the banner of the Convention Collective. So hopefully we'll get ourselves a number of interviews from some great creatives, either that or hopefully on the Sunday, April 1st, we'll be able to piggyback on somebody's live feed and have them shows around San Diego Comic-Con, which would be rather cool. So there you go. That's the lineup as we know so far. If you do want to find out a bit more, head to the unofficial blog, because they are doing their best to pump out as much news as they possibly can. Although at the moment, even with 2.5 weeks out, they're only down to like a page and a half of their Wondercon listings, which gives you an idea just how kind of slight the news is just getting so far. But the good news is it's going to be a lot more of a whirlwind, getting closer and closer to the first. So fully expect to see some exciting announcements to roll out on the week prior to Wondercon, so the first and the second, if anything, because the guests want to make sure that they are back and they're safe, so they're just going to kind of stagger what they're doing with their releases. Okay, I think it's safe to say I am absolutely collapsing. I'm falling apart. I'm fraying at the edges, and I don't want to fall asleep on air. So tell you what I'm going to do is I'll wrap this up now. We've had half an hour to talk about the guests and talk about what you can do to get to Wondercon and get yourself parked up. Join us on Sunday, where we'll be breaking down the panels, finding out exactly what shows have been announced and what's been programmed. Is it going to be the year of streaming at Wondercon? Let's find out, because well, that's where we are now, isn't it? It's we're in a streaming world, so it's going to be a case of who's going to win that particular fight. Amazon. Is it going to be Paramount Plus? Because they've got some stuff to show off. Of course, you've got the new Star Trek series. New Captain Kirk was announced today. He came out on his social media to announce that he's going to be playing Captain Kirk, so filling the big shoes of William Shatner. And of course, all the other bits and pieces that are going to be announced over the course of the next 7 days. We will do a panel breakdown on Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and whatever time it is going to be in the US. I'm guessing it's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. GMT. It's going to be 11 Pacific. It's going to be 2 o'clock on the East Coast and in mid America. So yeah, hopefully you can join us for the show on Sunday at 6 o'clock at GMT. Hopefully I won't be too shattered, because it's been an absolutely, I'm struggling to get any kind of focus, and I'm guessing this could be a COVID thing, but I'm struggling to kind of keep my energy up. So hopefully I'll get a full show out of this weekend. Hopefully you can join us for another Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Don't forget to like and subscribe this channel for all the updates so you don't miss shows like this. I know that it hasn't been fully as comprehensive perhaps as I wanted it to, but we're still waiting on the news to come out, and I need to be a little bit more awake for Sunday. So do take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully you can join us if you have any updates that you want to share, and I'll pass them on to my viewers and to my followers on my social media. If you are watching this after the fact, get in contact with us, Englishman SDCC, and we'll spread the word about your involvement at Wondercon 2022, taking place at the Anaheim Convention Centre over the weekend of April the 1st to April the 3rd. Hopefully we'll get ourselves a live broadcast from the floor, which would be really cool. Yeah, otherwise we'll just spread the word and share it the best we can, as always, for the return of a San Diego Comic-Con show and at Anaheim, the Convention Center. So it's going to be good. It's going to be great. Let's have a look at this. Our neighbors, thanks, Leonard. Hey, listen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much indeed. But now I'm going to absolutely collapse. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you on Sunday for Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. See you soon.